Alright, finally, there's a trailer to the new Doom movie. I haven't seen it yet, so let's take a look.
5 minutes later.
What the? I'm not in the mood for coffee. That's how upset I am. 14 years ago, Doom, as in the video game franchise that came out since 1993, had its first film adaptation, and it starred actors Carl Urban and Dwayne Johnson. Well, they're making another Doom movie. And from the looks of that trailer that I've seen, they are repeating the same mistakes all over again! And what makes it even worse? id Software has said, and I guess for those of you who don't know, id Software are the founders of the Doom franchise, and they're also the rightful owners. id Software said that they are not involved with the new Doom movie. You had one job, and you couldn't do it! Seriously, do you know why the other Doom movie failed all those years ago? Oh, okay, let's go into details, shall we? In that movie, the demons weren't really demons. They were mutant zombies of some kind. Yeah, from some sort of, chromosome, super serum, try arguing the science around that, it's so confusing. And, oh yeah, there was no hell. No, hell was a metaphor for Mars. Yeah, there was no hell. No literal hell. No hell portal or anything like that. And also, the Marines were calling themselves soldiers. And there's a difference between Marine and soldier, okay? Trust me, a very big difference. And, oh yes, and they weren't wearing the green fancy armor that Doom guy wore in the original games. And the BFG didn't hit anything! That movie was terrible. And also, the visual effects and the budget in that film was so cheap. Well, what does this new Doom movie, Doom Annihilation, look like? A cheap budget film. Don't believe me? Watch the trailer if you haven't seen it already. Actually, what am I saying? The BFG did hit something. You know that druggie, what's his name, Portman? Yeah, if you look very closely, you'll see a steaming Kentucky Fried Portman. Yeah, he was actually hit by the BFG, okay? It wasn't the Hell Knight that killed him, no. Meanwhile, Bethesda says that they are not so happy about the trailer. Well, then why are they not doing something about it? Really, I mean, they are the game publishers, aren't they? So they should be doing something about it!
Do something! Do something! Do something!
Pure incompetence on their part. Seriously, Bethesda. And yes, the fault goes to you. Not just to id Software, but to you, Bethesda. First you give us Fallout 76, and now you give us a really bad Doom movie? Oh yeah, you allowed Hollywood to have free reign to make a very bad Doom movie. The fault should go to you. Just because you're a multi-billion-dollar company does not make you bulletproof. How many more lawsuits does there have to be in order to get your attention? Shame. Shame! Shame! Shame!
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Now, the argument has nothing to do with the fact that there's a female protagonist in the movie. In fact, there's actually no rule in the Doom franchise that says that we cannot have any female lead characters. There's no rule that I know of, no. In fact, this idea of a female Doom Marine, it actually originated as an idea. Yeah, used to be in a game called Quake 3 Arena. We had a female Doom Marine who went by the name Crash. And then later on, there were a bunch of Doom modders who decided to create a female Doom Marine, which they decided to nickname Doom Girl. And you will see a few Doom mods out there that have that idea, yeah. But this female character, Joanne Dark, I don't know the actress who plays her, okay? It does not look like that the acting is going to be very good on any of the characters that are shown in the trailer. Female Marines aside, I understand and I sympathize greatly everyone's sentiment towards the absence of Doom Guy. Seriously, where is he? I wanted to see the Doom Slayer! And I actually wanted this movie to be somewhat of a tie-in to the video games. You know, the latest ones, Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. Well, I looked up somewhere that this movie is not going to follow the story of any of the games. Nope. It's not going to. It's going to be its own reboot. Again. How many times? Oh, and did you know that Dr. Malcolm Betruger is going to be one of the characters for the new Doom movie? For Doom Annihilation, I mean? Yeah, Dr. Betruger. As in the bald-headed, evil-eyed maniac from Doom 3. Already, right there, you know that this is going to be a bad movie. Because, what other movies are based on video games and have borrowed characters from those video games and have completely butchered those characters? I can think of one, the Resident Evil films. Yeah, you know, the ones directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, those Resident Evil films. Oh, and speaking of Resident Evil films, get this, the director of Doom Annihilation, his name is Tony Giglio. I honestly don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly or not, but yeah, Tony Giglio. He was one of the people who helped make Resident Evil Afterlife. Directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. This movie's gonna suck. Quite literally, as the name suggests, we're doomed. My owner knew that this movie was going to be bad. In fact, he saw this trailer before I did. In fact, I think he's become psychic. Lately, he has developed this psychic ability to foresee disastrous things before they even happen. Like, for example, 2 years ago, he said that Anthem was going to have microtransactions. It has microtransactions. He said that Call of Duty Black Ops 4 was a trap. That later they were going to put in microtransactions after the release of the game. You know, after everyone has already bought it. It happened. And he knew that after the Mortally Challenged show from Doom Eternal, that there was going to be a controversy following it. There was a controversy following it. He knew that. Yes. I mean, seriously. He has developed this unique ability to see the future. If you ever want him to predict something for you, all you have to do is ask. Well, I hate to say this, but it would be so much easier for him to be able to if he wasn't currently ripping his eyes out of his sockets after watching the Doom Annihilation trailer. Of all the failures made by Bethesda, id Software, and all these other companies, this whole thing is a social experiment. Yeah, it's an experiment, all right. You have all these scientists and all these psychologists who believe that that people will actually love these things, right?
Wrong!
I would have this to say to them.
Your theories are the worst kind of popular tripe, your methods are sloppy, and your conclusions are highly questionable. You are a poor scientist.
That's not the only thing that makes this movie bad. It's not being released in theaters. No, it is being released as direct-to-video. Which means you could be buying yourself a Blu-ray disc of that movie, but you wouldn't know what you're buying. No. In fact, a theater ticket is a lot cheaper than a Blu-ray disc, if not by much. I mean, really. That is just Hollywood's way of saying, oh, you're gonna buy this movie whether you like it or not. Because when you buy something on a retail disc, it's not really refund friendly. I mean seriously, if you unwrap the disc case and everything, you can't really give it back. And not even with a receipt can you give it back. I mean, the same thing goes with if you buy a video game for Xbox One or PlayStation 4 on disc. It becomes a problem. So that's direct-to-video right there. My advice, if you ever do buy the movie, get out a sledgehammer and and hammer that disc into tiny bits. It will not bring back the money you lose, but hopefully it will send a message. Rip and tear until it is done. And right now, I want to rip and tear its software a new one. A really big new one. In fact, I wonder what they would look like with all their insides smeared all over the wall over there. It would be a work of art. Anyway, I think I've said enough. Final sum up, do not buy this movie. It is going to be a very terrible movie. Do not buy it. Okay? Boycott the movie if you have to. Thank you all for watching. As always, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Goodbye!